TG Geeks, episode 301, November 23rd, 2020. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, we don't. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery. Sci-fi, comics, film, horror, genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane and we're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona, where the air conditioner is still running.
And I'm Ben Raggington coming to you from TG Squared Studios at a time where we should be getting ready to maybe go somewhere as we're getting ready for the holidays, but no, we're not. And we'll be talking a little bit about that later in the show here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Let's get on with it.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Well, in this episode, it is us.
It's again. Hostful with the mostful.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the holidays. We're going to talk a number of different things around the holidays since we're approaching that holiday time, what our publishing schedule is going to be like, and some of our traditions, and just a little bit of this and a little bit of that about the holidays. And then we'll do our birthday shout-outs, featured podcasts of the week, and everybody's favorite feedback. We got a lot of feedback this week, and then our shout-outs. And maybe in the second segment, we'll have some time to talk about something. I don't know what.
We'll make it up as we go.
As we always do. And then our weekly recap and a regular shout-out. So here we go with us.
Wow.
That just ended abruptly.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was supposed to fade that out.
I think so.
I was sitting fiddling with something else.
I was not expecting that.
It was all of a sudden, kaboom.
That was very jarring.
Yeah, I forgot to put the fade out on the end of that. Oh, well. Anyway, so here it is, just us, the Two Gay Geeks, talking about stuff.
All aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery and the holidays.
And the holidays, yep. So what we normally do for the holidays on the website, as some of you may or may not know, we have in the past, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago? 4 years ago? Three, 4? Maybe 4 years ago.
I think we started this 2 years ago.
Yeah. No.
I think so, because I seem to remember being...
No, 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
Because we did this in anticipation of going to Disney World.
Yes, but we didn't do that last year.
No, but we did it 2 years ago.
Yeah, so that'd be 3 years ago.
No, it'll be 2 years ago.
Anyway, whatever. It'll be our third year.
Yes,
anyway.
It is our third year doing this.
Yes. So starting Thanksgiving, we'll have a special Thanksgiving
oh, yes.
look back and this and that and the other. And then on Friday after Thanksgiving, we'll start probably, I think, depends on whether Hamish wants to do new sushi through the holidays or if he just wants to rerun some of his stuff that we did. He might want to take a break too. But that's kind of what our publishing schedule is going to be starting after Thanksgiving. We're going to be publishing or republishing some articles that we have run previously, and those are primarily about movies and traditions and a couple of funny pieces from Gina Koch and some other stuff, and it's all about holiday films, and that's kind of we like that. I mean, it's kind of our thing to do.
Well,
one of our traditions that we do during the holidays is we have like probably how many?
I don't know. We can't get through them all
films.
now.
Yeah, I mean,
we've not been able to get through them.
It is impossible. If we stopped watching everything else, we could not get through.
We would have to have started maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yep, to try to.
And I'm not exaggerating.
Oh yeah, and we've got some stuff that it's like, oh dear, I never need to see that.
That's
again.
true. I mean, and I'm already there's one or two movies that I never need to watch again.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have a problem running the review on them again because I think there's some valuable information there. Jingle all the way. But, well, I mean, that's a movie that does a terrible job at talking about, well, maybe it's not a terrible job, but it really emphasizes the commercialism of Christmas. But it also paints humans in a really awful light. So I just don't need that.
Yeah.
But, so I like the article is good to talk about. And I don't mind sharing it again, but heavens to Murgatroyd, I have no desire to ever watch that piece of garbage again.
Exactly. And then there's, all of the classic films. We got Rudolph. And,
oh, yeah.
We've watched Santa Claus is Coming. Did we do a review of that, or did Tommy do that? Or
I think that was Tommy Cannon.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't need to see that one again.
No.
It's not one of my favorites. I do like Rudolph, though.
Yeah, well, Rudolph is, I mean, that is like the staple.
It's just classic.
Of children's Christmas.
I remember seeing it when it ran the first time. The very first time.
I don't know if I can say that I saw it the first time, but I remember, well, not the first time it ran, but I remember the first time I watched it.
Yep.
And I was 5 years old in Sunnyvale, living there, and I remember sitting on the floor. The TV was on. My dad was on the sofa. My mom was in the kitchen making up. I mean, it was really it was such a Norman Rockwell moment. Seriously, mom's in the kitchen. She was getting some Christmas snacks ready, for us to watch this show as it started. And I mean, that's such a vivid memory for me.
Right.
So, that might be one of the reasons why Rudolph is such a powerful, and it has such warm memories for me, as opposed to many of the others that came along since.
Yeah. And then we have, obviously The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And I'll start things off with, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then all of those that kind of leading up that way. One of our favorite films is Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh yes.
My God. Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen.
They
have
so
such
good
chemistry together.
They are
both
both amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
I love to watch that one. That one's very funny.
And just all of those things, we're going to be publishing those, every day or recycling them. The things that we've written, there's a lot that Andrea wrote. There's some things that Tommy Cannon wrote, a couple of things that Hamish wrote, some things that Jeannie wrote and you wrote.
There are some
and
things
a couple of things that I wrote.
There are a couple of moments where we threw ourselves on the swords. I mean, we took one for the team. Both you and I did that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you did. Oh God, shoot, what was that?
Oh, Pee-wee's.
Pee-wee.
Oh, my God almighty. Gee, many Christmas. Oh.
Yeah, and I did the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh, that is so painful. You had to remind me.
Yeah, that was really bad stuff. I've made this threat that we need to, for 1 year, swap those.
Oh, dear God,
so
no.
that I'll do a review on Pee-wee, you do a review on Star Wars. I don't think you can get through it.
No, I didn't. I never have.
No, you walked out within 10 minutes.
18 minutes, I think.
You walked out.
I made it through. It's like, gee, what is this garbage?
Yeah. Well, why do you think George Lucas wants to pick up every single copy that ever existed and burn it?
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. We have a lot of really fun stuff that's going on in those reviews, and they're timeless. So we will just republish those. We'll also have some additional things. We'll have, if anything is timely or has come out or is coming out,
new reviews.
We'll still do those types of publishing. But as a general rule, we're not going to kill ourselves trying to find content like we do
The rest
on a
of the
regular
year.
basis. Yeah. And kind of take a little bit of a break.
And it's so easy just to go in, to the website and say, oh, here's that one. Put it, rerun it.
Rerun that one. Exactly.
Not hard to do.
And it just, I think one of the things that has, I don't have a whole lot of fond memories of Christmas and the holidays, just because of the insanity of my family. But we've made our own traditions.
Yeah, we have.
And this is one of them, is watching these holiday films. And I think what is so enjoyable about some of these holiday films, I was thinking about this earlier when we decided to talk about this, that you get to see the human foibles surrounding the holidays and how crazy it makes people.
Oh, yeah.
And you can say, yeah, I've lived that. Or, oh my God, how in the heck did that happen? Or, look at, I see how that could happen.
It's funny, I was actually kind of on that very train of thinking. Earlier today, I was thinking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh my Lord.
And that movie is another one of those, one train wreck after another kind of situations.
Exactly.
And
I identify with Clark Griswold.
Yeah. I kind of get, a lot of the nightmares that poor man has had.
Especially when he punches the reindeer. It's like, I get so frustrated trying to put Christmas decorations up. I just take them and throw them out.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, I can take a look at that and think, okay, so I'm really not in a position where I need to complain all that much.
Exactly.
So if I want to feel better about my life, I'll just pop that movie on, and there I go.
Yep. And then, there's just so many wonderful, good films. We have how many versions of A Christmas Carol?
Oh, 4 or 5 of them.
4 or 5, 6 versions.
Oh, you're
of
right.
that.
We have 8, I think. And I'm including animated versions as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my gosh. The 3 that we visit mostly are the Patrick Stewart, the George C. Scott, and the
Henry Winkler.
American Christmas Carol with Henry Winkler, which is
that is a highly underrated film.
Yeah. At first, you really didn't like it.
No,
but
I
then
didn't.
you've come to really appreciate it because, I mean, it really is a good film.
The reason I didn't initially like it is because I found it bleak.
Yeah. Well,
and I didn't care. And yeah, that's the whole point, though. And I think when I really began to turn around my feelings on that film is when I wrote an article on that one. With the Patrick Stewart and the George C. Scott, that's easy to kind of get lost in the romanticism about that.
Exactly.
Because it's set in period England.
Right.
But this is set in the Depression in America.
Yeah.
American Christmas Carol. And I'm just old enough to, I mean, I'm not saying that I was alive during the Depression, but I've got Depression-era parents.
Exactly.
So I was always reminded.
Exactly.
Always reminded. Oh, we had it tough. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So there
and
is...
that preceded the walked both ways in the snow uphill.
Yeah, exactly. So that gives the movie a certain resonance to me that, and I think maybe that was the intent because it's a much older film.
Right.
I mean, we're talking Henry Winkler right around this was around the
80s. I think it was early 80s.
I actually think it's older than that.
I'm not sure.
I want to say it's the late 70s.
Huh. Interesting.
But basically it's around the time of when Henry Winkler was doing Happy Days.
Yeah.
At that point.
No, I thought it was after that. I think that was already done.
Was it? Well, you're looking it up right now. But the point is that Henry Winkler was a young man when he did this. So I think the intention from the filmmakers...
Oh, 79.
I am right. Okay, so 79. So I think the intention was to try and aim that story at Depression, or not Depression-era people, but people that lived through it.
Right.
So that it gives the movie... I hate to keep using the word resonance, but that is the word, that people can better relate to it by saying, oh, I remember that's how it was for me.
Yeah.
And maybe it might help them kind of think back and say, all right, maybe I could be a bit more generous this time around at Christmas.
It's a timeless tale. I mean,
that too.
Look at Scrooged. I mean, it's the Christmas Carol. So, and that's one of our other favorites.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
No, that one I adore, but for all entirely different reasons. Yeah. I mean, I don't relate to that character because I'm not. I don't run a film studio,
no,
or TV network. And I like to think that I'm a little bit nicer than that guy.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, how can you not love a movie with Bill Murray and Carol Kane?
Exactly. And all the names that are in that film.
Oh, that movie's hilarious.
It's great.
I love that film.
Yeah. And some of the other traditions, that we have started to carry on were, there's a number of different things that we do. Thanksgiving we used to go to Disneyland at Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and
obviously
then,
that's out.
That's out this year. And we've started visiting my sister in Oklahoma and the whole family there. What's left of us anyway.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a neat little tradition, although that's out the window again.
That's out the window, and I will
but
admit to a certain disappointment, but I understand. I actually agree with the idea of not going.
Yeah.
Because I think we really do need to batten down the hatches for this 1 year for the sake of,
exactly
what's going on outside because of the great pause.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks in a way. I mean, it's first holiday without my mom, so it feels kind of a little weird for me. But that all notwithstanding, that is a tradition that I've really grown to love.
Yeah.
Is being able to go back there right around the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, and there for a number of years, you were very involved in music for the church. And that was always a wonderful tradition. I mean, at one point, we all, Brendan, Gordon, yourself, and me.
Oh, yeah.
We did several different Christmas Eve services at several different places. Always a lot of fun.
I've got some very fond memories of those Christmas Eve services.
Yeah.
I have really great memories of those.
And usually a little bit of eggnog on Christmas Eve, and with some Baileys and a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, eggnog with emphasis on the nog.
Exactly. And I want to kind of close this section out with talking about holidays and family. I know that we've kind of romanticized that, and I have grown to embrace the holidays, and that's been a journey for me over my 60 years to get to the point where I'm somewhat okay with the holidays. I still have my Christmas madness that happens, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But I know that there are some people that really struggle with the holidays and struggle trying to be with family and not wanting to be with family and just biting the bullet to be with family, or, completely separating yourself from family. And this year, because of the great pause with the COVID-19, maybe it's a good year it might be a reprieve to not get caught up in some of the madness, to be able to take care of yourself during the holidays and not have to deal with that. And I read an article recently that said, if you're getting beat up for being too cautious, that's about the other people. It's not about you.
About you.
You have to do what is most comfortable and for you. So please, during this holiday season, take care of yourself. And we have on our website, and we're going to run 2 spots in this episode about suicide prevention. Please know that you are not alone. Even if it's just depression, please seek some help. I mean, there are seasonal affective disorder and resources that you can take, you can participate in and get some help with the holiday season.
Yeah, and the holidays are notoriously the worst time.
Yep.
For people that struggle with these issues, especially if you're alone.
Yes.
then it's really bad. I mean, we've got each other, and there's always ways for us to pick each other up, but there are a lot of people just don't have that luxury. So, if you need someone to talk to, if you need any kind of help, please avail yourself of those services.
We'll try to put some resources in this the show notes for this episode. So that's kind of where we're at. So let's move on to the next thing.
Hello, this is Carlton Tetley, the host of This Got Made, and you're listening to the Two Gay Geeks. Am I getting paid for this?
In honor of of season 2
Yes.
of This Got Made.
That debuted on our website last Saturday. So here's a few selected birthdays for November 23rd through November 29th, 2020. November 23rd, Boris Karloff, actor. Did you know that he appeared in some 80 films before he made it big in Frankenstein in 1931?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
And also, he actually has
Yes.
Bela Lugosi to thank for his fame, because Bela Lugosi turned down the part of the monster in Frankenstein.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
And he was Christopher Lee's neighbor for many, many years.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And he, when he was doing the film Frankenstein, when they were going out to the lake,
Right.
the little girl, she was 8 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
They were trying to keep her separated from him. They didn't want her to be scared of the monster. So I don't know what exactly happened.
That's odd.
But when they were going out to shoot that scene, she ran up to him and took his hand and said, "Can I ride with you?"
Which actually makes a lot of sense, because you watch that film and the little girl, when she approaches the monster, I mean, she's all about, oh, I have a new friend.
Yep. And Karloff had he loved children. He did,
Yes, he did.
A bunch of children's narrations and whatnot like that. In fact, he is the narrator for How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we have Bruce Valanche, writer, funny man. He wrote the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
All of those variety specials that came out during the 70s and 80s, you can thank him for that.
Yeah, and
that includes the Star Wars Holiday Special.
He is the person responsible for the Star Wars Holiday Special, as well as many jokes and whatnot for the Tony Awards and Academy Awards and those different specials. So thank Bruce Valanche for that. Michelle Gomez, actress, Missy on Doctor Who. She was the first woman to play the Master. And then we have Michael Goff, actor, Doctor Who.
Yes.
Batman. Came out of retirement to play the notary in Sleepy Hollow.
No, I didn't know that.
He had been retired. I mean, he was like 92 at the time, but he died just a couple of years later at the age of 94.
Really?
Yeah. So interesting, huh?
Huh. I was not aware of that. How old was he when he didn't he take on Dumbledore?
Michael Goff? No.
Oh no! I'm thinking of Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
Michael Goff. Okay, it's just when you said Doctor Who, I immediately went to the Doctor Who Christmas Carol and completely forgot we were talking about the Celestial
Something
Toy
else.
Maker.
Yes, as well as Counselor Hedron.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And then we have Oded Fair, actor, The Mummy, Blood and Treasure, Discovery, Admiral Charles.
I don't know what his name
is. What the heck's his name?
Yeah. He's just Admiral.
Yep. Born in Israel. And I think he does a great job.
I know. I think he's... I really like the guy. I think he's done a phenomenal job working with Discovery.
Yep. And then we have a friend of ours, Kyle Homewood, who was the director of education for Arizona Opera, and he's moved on to a much better position now, or at least to hear him say it.
Yeah.
And then we have Nobilis Reed and Davette C., who has done a number of things for us. November 24th, Forrest J. Ackerman, writer, editor, actor, agent. All of those things. A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
I think at one time he was called the world's biggest sci-fi fan.
Mm-hmm. He's actually is credited with coining the term sci-fi from science fiction.
I didn't know that was him.
He was actually started the famous Monsters of Filmland way, way back, and was a friend to both Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov.
Oh, that I knew.
Yep. He actually helped Bradbury get started on his writing career by paying for his plane fare and hotel to send him to New York.
Huh. I know that some years before he died, when Forrest was in still reasonably good health, he would actually allow or welcome sci-fi fans just to come to his house so they could tour it because it was like a museum.
Yeah, he did that, and then he sold a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then pared it down to a smaller home. But still allowed people to come.
Yeah. The guy was phenomenal.
Yep. Then we have Denise, he died just after the 50th anniversary of famous Monsters of Filmland.
Oh, no kidding.
Like a couple of weeks after his 92nd birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. Denise Crosby, actress, Star Trek. She quit Next Gen because there weren't enough action scenes for her.
Well, the weird thing is, of course, Next Gen episodes were filmed very much out of order from what we've seen broadcast. And yes, she was getting very unhappy with the fact that there was just nothing happening for her. And then after she says, okay, I'm done. That's it. It's over. She films her, what was to be her final episode. And then all of a sudden, some more episodes come along that are going to be airing earlier. But they had great action. And she's like, well, if I had known...
Yeah. Oh, well. And then we have a good friend of mine, Bea Green. She was my favorite boss ever. And she's retired now, still lives in Massachusetts, up on the coast. And
oh, nice.
Her back patio is right on the ocean. So
that's got to be just nasty in the winter, though.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then Sarah Maria Rainier and Jason Palmer and your sister, Noelle Hughes. November 25th, we have Ricardo Montalban.
And his Corinthian leather.
Yes, he was Khan.
Oh,
Star Trek.
Ouch.
Khan Noonien Singh. He was Fantasy Island, and he was on the Colbys. Noted for his striking features.
I don't remember him in the Colbys.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know what it was, what character I can't remember.
Wow, because I loved that nighttime soap. I don't remember. Well, shoot, I'm embarrassed to say that I don't remember.
Yep. Noted for his striking features, and I loved his delivery and his accent. I mean, it was just it was so delicious.
Yes.
And his wife's sister was Loretta Young.
Oh, really?
They were married for 63 years.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
And was the spokesman for Chrysler for many years with the rich Corinthian leather.
The rich Corinthian leather.
And in 1999, he purchased an old Hollywood theater to restore and create a state-of-the-art theater that we visited for a movie premiere a couple of years ago.
Right, that was
the
wonderful.
Montalban Theater. It's a wonderful old theater.
Yeah, to get to the top,
on the rooftop,
though, was a pain in the butt.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm surprised that, well, if they ever have to do any kind of repair on that building, they will be forced, I think, due to California law, to install an elevator.
Yeah. Anyway, then we have Jeffrey Hunter, actor, original Captain Pike on the Star Trek pilot, which then was eventually released as the
Menagerie.
The Menagerie, or the Cage. And they did, I guess they put that back together and ran it during a season of Next Gen during the writer's strike.
Did they?
Yes, I think that's what I read.
Well, I do know that the Cage has been reconstituted. I mean, and completely reintegrated, put back together, colorized, all of it.
Yep.
So it does exist. And I know it's available someplace, and it's really worth getting because there are things that are there which you cannot find in the two-part Menagerie. And it's a nice tribute to Jeffrey Hunter.
Yep. He sadly died of complications from a surgery after a fall, probably was caused by 2 previous strokes.
Oh, no.
At the age of 42.
No,
Yeah.
that's too young.
Yeah. And then we have Bailey Hall. Happy birthday, Bailey. November 26th, Robert Goulet, singer-actor. Robert Goulet's Cajun Christmas on IBC. You'll love it.
Yeah.
And then we have Norbert Weiner, a mathematician. He's considered the originator of cybernetics, one of the first to theorize that intelligent behavior is a result of feedback mechanisms and was an important early step in the development of modern artificial intelligence.
Wow, that's complex.
Yeah, interesting. And then a friend of ours, Buffy Linder.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Buffy. November 27th, Bruce Lee.
My favorite
actor,
martial arts expert.
Kato in... no, he was Kato.
Kato.
Green Hornet. Kato is...
Not Kato. No.
Numerous martial arts films. He provided training to Steve McQueen and James Coburn in one of his kung fu studios in Los Angeles.
Also, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, and you know,
I mean,
everybody.
Yeah, he had a big... he was very, very much in demand, and he kind of revolutionized the entire philosophy of a lot of martial arts.
Yep.
I mean, the man was amazing. I know that a lot of people... a lot of old school martial artists really hated what he was doing, but I applaud him for giving it not a modern sensibility, but allowing people to have a sense of adaptability.
Yep. And then we have Jimi Hendrix, musician, a left-handed guitarist, but could play both left or right without restringing.
Wow, that's talent.
Yeah, because he would go into a music store, and obviously they didn't have anything strung as a left-handed, but he would audition guitars in guitar stores. And interesting, he opened for the Monkees in 1967.
Oh, my word.
He actually, at first, really didn't like their music, but got to know them, and they kind of jammed together. And he left the tour because basically his opening act was not, he wasn't booed off stage. They were all clamoring for the Monkees, so
they didn't know what to make of
usually
him, I'm
cut
sure.
his sets short.
Well,
and so he asked to leave the tour.
And I'm sure that people didn't quite know what to make of him because,
true.
I mean, the Monkees, they're the headliner, so they're gathering this kind of specific audience that's really much into this very 60s, I don't want to say teeny bop, but very, that age pop kind of music. And here's this guy who was revolutionary on the guitar.
Yep. And he was actually in the Army, jumped out of an airplane as a paratrooper. And then after he did that, he went back to the barracks and tried to recreate the sound of the air whooshing by on his guitar.
Okay, that's genius, I got to admit.
Yeah, it was fascinating. Then we have Bill Nye, the science guy, Boeing engineer for many, many years in Seattle, and designed parts for the 747.
I love the fact that we got to see him
exactly
as a surprise guest at Neil deGrasse Tyson's little show here in Phoenix. That was a treat.
And he was kind of a little out of sorts because I think
there was a time change.
Tyson forgot about the time change, and he called him at the wrong time.
An hour earlier than he expected.
Yeah. And then we have our nephew Oliver. Who's 3 years old.
And he's so adorable.
He is adorable. November 28th, Randy Newman, composer. Oh my gosh. Tons of the Pixar films, as well as other film scores that he's just...
And to think that...
a chameleon.
Yeah, he started off, pop music.
Pop singer, or pop music.
Pop music, and... I really have a problem with the song "Short People," even though Randy Newman himself is short. So he's sort of taking a swipe at himself when he's doing it. But I never really cared for the song. But when he started going into movies, one of the first scores he did was for the movie Ragtime, which is stunning. And then he started doing the Pixar stuff, and the songs that he wrote for those movies are just brilliant.
I know. And then we have Karen Gillan, actress Amy Pond from Doctor Who, Nebula, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and some Marvel films. And let's see, Linda Reese, who is a director and a property mistress. And let's see, November 29th. Hopefully I can get through this. Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, this one is tough.
An actor, inspiration to many.
Yes.
Black Panther. He died on Jackie Robinson Day.
Oh, my word. I didn't know that.
Yeah. This year, in August 28th. And that was the day that Major League Baseball had set aside as Jackie Robinson Day.
Wow.
And Chadwick played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42.
That's right, he did. And the fact that while he was working on the Black Panther movie, he was undergoing cancer treatment.
Yep.
And nobody knew.
It's amazing.
Except probably for Kevin Feige, who's probably the only person who knew.
Yep.
And outside of Chadwick's family. But nobody else in the biz knew that he was sick this entire time. Mm-hmm. He kept it completely quiet. He acted totally professional. He was completely positive the entire time he was filming. The man is an inspiration.
Yep. And plus his character, too.
Oh, yeah.
A great inspiration in, a leading black man in a primarily black cast. Mm-hmm. Amazing. What an amazing film. Then we have John Cheadle, actor, Iron Man in the Iron Man films from Iron Man 2 on.
Yeah.
And he plays a saxophone. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Then we have Gaetano Donizetti, composer, Belcanto composer, more than 70 operas.
Oh yeah,
couple of them.
But it's a very short period of time, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean he died in. He was born in 1797 and died in 1848 or something like that.
That's not long.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wrote that many operas is just astonishing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Lucia de Lammermoor, L'Elixir d'Amore, Don Pasquale, and his 3 operas referred to as the Donizetti Queens.
Yes.
Anna Bolena, Maria Stuarda, and Roberto Devereux.
Right.
Beverly Sills sang all 3 of those and effectively ended her career.
I don't doubt it.
Because they are so demanding.
They're brutal.
They're just demanding. Unbelievable. And he was a major Belcanto opera composer.
Along there with
Rossini and
Bellini.
Bellini, and a couple of others.
And others that end in E.
Yep. Then, let's see, friend of ours, Jessica Marino and Renee Baum, and a good friend, Michael Cohen.
Happy birthday.
And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Technorama, the podcast for geeks, because geeks are better than cool. You don't hear someone say, "Get away from me, you cool person." Who's gonna have their 65-inch home theater system installed by the Cool Squad? Not me, that's for sure. How much cool cred do you have? Not enough to care about. Think you'll find any canned unicorn meat at thinkcool.com? It's just a part domain name. They don't even have roadkill in a paper cup. That's why you need to start listening to Technorama, because that's what geeks do. Go to chuckchat.com and listen to Technorama before you turn cool.
Go give a listen to our friends Chuck and Craig over at Technorama Podcast.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counsellors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
And it's time for our feedback. And Each of these items that we got the feedback for will be featured in the show notes for this episode at tggeeks.com. Starting with, regarding Gaga Ulala acquires Hamish Downey's Silence for Halloween release. Got a comment from Hamish Downey. He says, thank you so much for supporting this film from the very beginning. Hey, we were happy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very happy to do it. Then, moving on, regarding Arizona Opera expands the reimagined 2020/2021 season. Got a comment from Arizona Opera. They left this for us on Instagram. They said, thanks for the mention. We cannot wait to share more of our reimagined 2020/21 season with you. Then, regarding Ben's breakdown, Star Trek Discovery Season 3, 3-episode thoughts. Got a comment from Andrew Island on Twitter. He says, good review. I don't care much about the various Star Trek reboots, but I agree that sending a crew into the distant future is very exciting. Programmable matter seems a disaster waiting to happen, though. I imagine.
Interesting.
Yeah, I imagine one war or terror tactic is hostile reprogramming.
Well, that could,
Hey,
you never know.
You know, you might be onto something there. Then, moving on, regarding TG Geeks episode number 299, got a comment from one of our dearest friends, Corey Nelson. She said, enjoyed your trip down memory lane as you prepare for podcast episode 300. Always love the interaction you two have, and especially your genuine love for creators of different genres. You will always have my support.
Thank you, Corey.
And then got another comment from Hamish Downey. This is regarding Hamish Downey's 5 questions with DJ Stone Dog. And he says, thanks for the support and the links, because we included the links when we shared that article. Moving on, regarding 1776, the 1972 film, old classics newly reviewed. Got a comment from Jeff Baker. We interviewed him a couple of months ago. He says, I love 1776. I highly recommend the book with the script for the musical, as well as an article telling what was historical and what they had to combine/make up for purposes of the musical. For years around the 4th of July, I posted the scene where they have to decide who will write the Declaration. Wonderful.
Yep.
And then to close things off, this is just a general comment from, we just found this out quite by accident. This was on Twitter, and somebody had asked the question, what's a good podcast that I can follow? And this lovely, lovely person named Krista on Twitter wrote, well, the Two Gay Geeks cover all sorts of topics from TV shows, literature, pop culture, and more. I love them. And then I kind of responded saying, you get a gold star. And she came back with, a gold star? I'm telling my mommy. You're so sweet. I love you guys.
That's great.
Krista, we love you.
Absolutely. Anybody that leaves us feedback like that or interacts with us or lets us know they're even just listening to the thing.
Yeah.
It's great. Kind of like
how wonderful. And this was a twofer in a way. I mean, we find out we've got another listener who really likes
us.
And then at the same time, she's sharing that information.
Yay,
wow.
Yay. And if you want to leave a comment on any of our episodes or any of the articles that we write, you can do that on our Facebook page. You can do it on Twitter, Instagram, or any place else that you might find us. If you want to leave us a voicemail like Pia has done and several other people have done, you can call us and leave us a voicemail. We'll play that on air, and you can be famous too. Just call 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice. Well, as everybody knows, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether they are filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. And especially during this time, we want to give a shout out to all of those independent creators. And because this year has been kind of, I saw somebody post on Facebook and said, I've kind of added up all of the what I would have gotten with all the conventions and all of this kind of stuff, and it says I saved $421 or something like that.
I saw that, yeah.
It costs them money to do those conventions, but you can support those independent creators. Go to their Facebook pages, their Etsy pages, their Twitter pages, their regular web pages. Look at their stuff, buy their stuff, talk to them, talk to other people about their stuff if you like them. Please support independent creators. We also support the Joshua Tree Feeding Program. It's an HIV 501c3 nonprofit food pantry for the HIV and AIDS community in Maricopa and Pinal counties. They set it up. It's a food pantry that's set up just like a store so people can come in, get what they want, so nothing is wasted. They also have some other things that they do. They just gave turkeys away last week to every client that came in, and we donated to that. We support them on a monthly basis, and you can too, or you can do it on a single gift basis. Go to jtfp.org. If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Well, it's time for that second segment. I do have one possible little topic, and that is we just saw a movie.
Oh, yes.
That I've got a review on the website, and I'll mention it in the next little bit, and it's called The Last Vermeer. So my thoughts are there in the review, but I think maybe it might be nice to kind of get your take on this film.
I thought it was fascinating. It's based on a true story, and Guy Pearce is, as you said, he's magnetic.
Magnetic is the word.
His portrayal and the story about Hans von Meegeren, who was probably. I spoiled the film. We were watching the film, and the screener that we got, and I thought, well, I want to look this guy up because it's kind of a lengthy intro into the film and the background and all this kind of stuff.
We hadn't gotten that far into the screener at this point either.
Yeah, and so I looked him up on Wikipedia, and I spoiled the whole film in the very first sentence of the Wikipedia article.
You were most frustrated.
I was. It's like, well, dang.
That's not what you said, but the point well taken.
Yeah, but it was a fascinating film, and I really don't want to give any spoilers away, but it just is the way it all takes place and the way they set it up. Whether it's all true that way. They did take some artistic license with a couple of things.
Yeah, there is some dramatization going on.
But it was really a great film, and it was fascinating to see how it turned out and what he actually did.
Right.
It's like, oh my God.
It was really compelling, highly intriguing, and I want to say the last 20 minutes of the film, I was just glued. Yeah. So glued as to what we were seeing. I thought it was just one of the most fascinating, and it became a courtroom drama.
Yeah, it did.
Of a sort.
Yeah.
And I was just riveted by it, and all the time, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody else's performance. The movie is well acted by everybody from top to bottom, but hot snot, Guy Pearce is just freaking brilliant.
Yeah. I'm forever amazed at his breadth of talent.
Yeah.
Of what he can play, from comedy to serious to, it's all over the place. And this character was such an over-the-top, self-absorbed narcissist. Yeah, and he played it brilliantly.
He did it really well, and as I said in my review, what I loved about him is that it's reported that Van Meegeren was just like the life of the party during the German-occupied Holland. Everybody loved to go to his parties because he was the life of the party. He was completely magnetic as a character himself, as a person. And I thought Guy Pearce captured that because I kept thinking, man, I want to hang with this guy. He's fun.
Yeah. Well, if not for nothing else, the debauchery.
Well, that too. But lots of debauchery. But he was so entertaining.
And the booze.
Yeah, lots of booze, yeah.
The B&D.
I am not admitting to anything. But Guy Pearce really did just an amazing job with that film. And if he does not get a nomination for an Academy, then it'll be just like the biggest crime in movie history.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was fantastic. If you get a chance to see this movie, please do so.
Yep. And let's move on.
And it's time for our weekly review, and these are the things that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these items will be in the show notes for episode number 301 at tggeeks.com, starting with Sunday, November 15th, Nerdy Chupacabras number 22. On Monday the 16th, TG Geeks episode number 300. On Tuesday the 17th, Ben's Breakdown, The Mandalorian Season 2, 3-episode thoughts. On Thursday, the 19th, Ben's Breakdown, The Last Vermeer is the Genuine Article. On Friday, the 20th, New Sushi number 106, Morsels of News from Japan and Beyond, from the always amazing Hamish Downey. And we close the week off Saturday, the 21st, This Got Made, hosted by Carlton Tetley, Season 2, Episode A/Maraud. And that is what we ran on our website at tggeeks.com. Have to give a couple of shout-outs. First to the Arkle Times Post-Dispatch News for republishing our content from time to time, put out by the human Arkle Brian Weber. You can find the Post-Dispatch News by finding him on Twitter. Do that by searching for Arkle at ARKLE. And you can also look for Arkle Studios on YouTube, youtube.com/Arkle Studios. Brian has a number of his projects there, his Shameless Cash Grab series, his Rants vs. Zombies series, and his game videos of Trick and Treat, as well as Star Trek Online. We must also give some shout-outs to a couple of Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes and relevant articles on their pages. First to the Gay Geeks After Hours. When I asked if we could share our content there, they said, yes, please, share away. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/Gay Geeks After Hours. And then to The Gay Geek for the same. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/The Gay Geek. And as always, we must give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
And we can be found on Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Krypton Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays, and listen to their other content. They're a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for this webcast episode. We're going to have several links on the page of things that we talked about and some resources for holiday depression. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. From TG Squared Studios, I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay home, stay safe, stay sane. Peace.
Cheers.